Line of Heaven, a fun movie about someone who apparently just trots, jogs, and bounds around.
Welcome back to the bar for episode 14 of season 2 of Long Play Video, where we're going through Kev's top 100 movies of all time, favourite movies. We'll say there's no guarantee of quality, and talking about each film, and then having a little comparison to the same film on my list at the same place. Episode 14. So we're up to number 87.
I know.
Which obviously, for all those cryptologists and crossword lovers from the clues, will know that it is Running Man.
Yep.
And because for everyone or anyone who knows Kev, will presume it's the 1987 version.
Yes.
of Running Man.
Yes, not the newer version. Yeah, although I have just recently watched that as well, so I'm sure we'll talk about that. But yes, the classic 1987, Arnie at his best, throwing one-liners everywhere.
So yeah, was this obviously when you went through Arnie's filmography and were just assigning each film its place in the top 100? Presumably, that's just how this one ended up at 87.
It is a weird scenario because once I put the list together and then look back on it, there are, I would say personally, a worrying amount of Arnie films on there. like I'm like, he's definitely not one of my top 5 actors, and yet he appears probably the most in my list, which just seems completely bonkers and counterintuitive. But yeah, I don't know. I guess it's that era, isn't it? It's most of his films are going to be nostalgia. They're not going to be like masterpieces. It's we've said so many times, it's that whole adage of it was on, we had 5 channels and these films just repeated on TV forever. And it's funny, I was thinking about this because I know we say this quite a lot, and I was thinking maybe they didn't repeat that much. It's just that when you're a kid, you absorb so much that even seeing it 3 times felt like 100. Whereas now I need to see it 3 times to feel like 1, just to remember half of it. So
I've seen it at the cinema. I've streamed it 3 times. I was on my phone, so I didn't really.
I think I remember the first 5 minutes now. So I don't know. Do you think they were on all the time, or do you think that's just our perception? Because the reason I say that as well, I always think as well, like the cartoons, like He-Man or Mars. I felt like there was like 5,000 seasons of those shows, and yet there's like 2, and they've got 60 episodes, but it's not many, right? And you look back and go, how is that possible?
Yeah, I mean, I don't remember the Arnie films being on TV a lot.
You must have been on. You're on like, I don't know, Channel 4, and I was on ITV. So you were watching Sly, and I was watching Arnie.
That was the difference, maybe. Well, I mean, I'll take Sly. I thought you were going to be like, oh, you were watching rom-coms, and I was watching the action movies.
True.
So no, I don't know. Yeah, that's the thing. I don't remember. I'm not sure that I remember watching any Arnie films. Really? I remember there was a spell when RoboCop was on a few times.
Yeah.
And then like some of the Rockies, but I don't remember. Yeah, and just as non-spoilers, but I hadn't seen this film up until last year. I think I watched it for the first time just before the remake was getting finalized. I don't. I would have thought that this is like you've got it on DVD or you've got it on VHS and stuff. I don't think these were, because they would have been so edited, wouldn't they, if they were on TV?
I don't think so. I mean, I guess also, you're younger and you just, you had 4 channels and you're just grateful that a film was on TV and it wasn't a soap opera. So, I don't know if they'd have been that edited. I mean, there was a little bit of gore, but also remember, in the 80s and 90s, they cared less, right? You just exposed your children to stuff and didn't worry about it. So yeah, I mean,
well, this one especially. There's the action in this. We will get onto, but I'm not sure there's actually that much action. Or maybe I watched an edited version.
Yeah. You've watched the BBC version. I've watched the ITV uncut. Let's get as many ads as we can inside this version. Yeah, but no, a lot of these films really, I just remember like watching these with my dad. I didn't have any. That's the thing. I didn't have any Arnie films on VHS or DVD. I guess maybe my sister might have had some, but yeah, I just remember them always being on. Conan the Barbarian was on, like Red Sonja, like all of these films were like always on. And so I've slowly, this is the problem, isn't it? I've been indoctrinated into Arnie, and then that moved into the 90s with like True Lies and Jingle All the Way. It's like, damn it.
I mean, we couldn't get you to reveal your second Marvel film for Love Nor Money, and yet there's at least 7 Arnie films on there already that we know that. So this was like, almost sort of memories of sitting on a sort of Saturday night with the family and sort of these films being on with you. So watching it with your dad and stuff. Yeah,
exactly that. And I do remember thinking, before I was going to watch it this time, I was thinking, I do remember it being like a fun film. Like it's a clever idea and it's put together well. And obviously it's sort of peak of Arnie one-liners. So there's lots of the one-liners that come through, which are great. And it's just that silly fun action. I don't even know, like, do you even call it action? It's almost like a slightly more extreme version of adventure, isn't it, really? Like the Arnie films. There's story. There is actually story in there. I think that's one of the things now that we're looking at them and we see like Total Recall as well was obviously a good example where there's actually some good stuff in them. Whereas we just thought, generally they were just silly films where lots of action, where now we have tons of those sort of films. Like, God, I think I said to you, I just watched The Wrecking Crew with Jason Momoa and Dave Bautista. And it just reminds you that films can be made badly. It can, if you don't have a good idea, a good script.
Going through your list, I haven't forgotten. I haven't forgotten that. So.
Yeah, but it's. I think that when we've obviously watched Total Recall, watched this, and we had Roadhouse, and we had Escape from New York. I guess I'd say these are all in the same sort of like genre for me, in that sort of nostalgia piece, and I feel like all of them actually have a pretty good storyline. Like the script's actually reasonably good, and then some of them do have good, bad action. Some of them will have like good one-liners. Some of them don't quite hit. Like, I think generally they all have some good bits, some bad bits. But as a whole, there's a good script behind it. Now, it might be that they didn't quite fulfill it or butchered it a bit or cut it, edit it a little bit too much to not get it into a good story. But the script actually is good. Whereas I think now, I feel like the action movies, it is just literally explosions. Like it's not... the script's completely irrelevant now. Which, it's almost going completely against what I've said on this entire pod all the time about Jason Statham, because this is exactly his movie. So that's what he does.
It's all about family.
And also about family. So, I don't know. So you first watched it then like a couple of years ago, and then you've rewatched it now. So before we get into I guess we better get onto the drinks so they get your on work, because I want to ask you, about what you think about it. So what did you have for your drink then? What are you going to be bringing? Is it going to be something strong? Is this going to be an idea of what your one word will be?
No, so no drinking tonight. I'm just going to go for a cigar, I think, out of Arnie's stash.
Nice.
Because I think clearly he just wanted, he persuaded the producers that his character would clearly be able to smoke Cuban cigars even when he's in a camp for the rebels.
Yeah.
Clearly they have cigars just lying around.
Well, he's trying to get a bomb removed from his neck. He's just sitting there lighting up a cigar.
He's just having a smoke. So maybe a nice Cuban out of Arnie's stash.
I can see you and Arnie sharing a Cuban. I could see that happening.
I went to Cuba, smoked a few cigars. It's hell to pay the next morning.
Yeah,
but Yeah, that's an experience. How about you then? What have you gone for? Something
you'll like this one. This
extra
is
strong?
yes. So this, I was like, I'm not sure this
Steroids?
exists, but apparently it does exist. There's a specific Irish red owl called Killian's Irish Red Owl, and there is
Nice.
a drink called Killian's Kill Shot, which is the Irish Red Owl, Irish whiskey, and a bit of ginger beer, which does sound like it would kill you after about 3, unless you're Irish, and then you'll be like, I can drink 12 of these. But yeah, how funny is that? I didn't know that. I'd never seen Killian's Irish Red Owl.
Wow.
So keep your eye out for that.
No, is it? Was there a tie-in? Was there?
Can you
imagine? A new one? Or
yeah. He seems so
Someone's
Irish.
like, someone's finally made the connection between the name and Running Man.
Yeah.
It's the first time in 40 years.
Can you imagine if they brought out the Red Owl and they're like, oh, we've got this set up, this advert, we're all like nice, wholesome, like family business, we're doing so well. And then this like narcissist, crazy villain character comes out called Killian. And you're like, oh, he's just ruined it for us completely.
All those people called Harry Potter before the books came out.
Yeah.
They're like, oh, I'm going to have to change my name.
Oh, God,
now.
yeah. Oh, you named after books? Oh, God. Yeah, can you imagine?
Damn you,
dear.
JK. Nice.
Well,
nice. Well, it sounds like you'll be on the hard liquor and I'll be on the cigars.
Yeah.
I'm sure other patrons will just walk over to us in the bar and see what we're all about.
Yeah. So, one word.
Action? Question mark. That's not me being Australian.
Yeah.
I've gone for action.
I think that's the thing, isn't it?
Yeah.
We need to discuss this because the definition that we both have of action, I think, is different. And it's like, maybe, and I think the 80s definition is definitely different than now. Like you couldn't compare this to, like, I think you were saying, like, compare this to like John Wick. You'd be like, well, they're just chalk and cheese, completely different like levels of action.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, this obviously in comparison to Total Recall and then in comparison to Escape to New York. And I think this and Escape to New York is sort of very similar, where you're like, it's sort of an action movie.
Yeah.
But like the action is very confined.
Yeah.
There's a couple of pieces, not even like, I wouldn't even say that they were necessarily scenes. They're just like almost like certain thing, like one fight is the action. Whereas, as I said, and gave a very high score for Total Recall, like the action is basically you're going from one action piece to the next, to the next, to the next in Total Recall, which I think is very different to this, where you're like, okay, it's got Arnold Schwarzenegger in it. There's a couple of explosions. There's quite a lot of shooting and people dying, so it's an action movie. And then I watched it, and you're just like, but a lot lot movie is not action movie. So for me, I think that's sort of just a funny look at it.
It's and maybe like we look back, I don't know, because obviously you can't go back now. I can't remember, but I guess these films when they came out would have been so much more action than what you were used to in like the 60s and the 70s. And so it was such a different, it must have been such a like wow, they've got like these huge set pieces and explosions and, like these, God, he's fighting like 5 people and I can see it's him because his face is there and then the camera moves from here to here, so I know it's him. And now obviously you go, in John Wick, obviously, like Keanu has to fight like 12 people and the camera has to stay on his face at all times, so he's always doing it, and he has to train for like 6 months beforehand to get the scene right. So it is funny, isn't it? You're right. I do think when we look back at these films, in the time they must have been seen as like huge, sort of what we would now, at that time was action. And then, you're right. Is it not as much action? Well, it's nowhere near as much action as the films that we have now. And I guess cost comes into it, and technology obviously has changed things a lot as well. It's made it a lot easier to do those sort of actiony bits now. But I think that's when it comes back to the fact that often then, as we've discussed with these films, they often have better scripts than I think they have nowadays, because it's almost nowadays they focus on the action and getting the technology right and not on the script, which is to the detriment often to the film and possibly humanity. So, yeah.
So talk me through this from a script point of view, because I think
Genius.
this story reads very well on the page.
Yeah.
I can imagine the pitch meeting. I can imagine the excitement. And obviously it comes from a Stephen King short story, and but that aside, even for the film, I can just see them writing it. But like script itself,
you're not in?
Not really. Some of the one-liners are just downright bizarre. And I think it feels like, is Arnie improvising some of these? In which case, he just really shouldn't be.
As in, they're not good one-liners, as in they're not funny, or they're so bad they're good. Like, give me some examples of ones.
So when he says about signing the contracts, and he says, well, I live to see you eat that contract, but I hope you leave enough room for my fist, because I'm going to ram it into your stomach and break your goddamn spine. That
was action in the 80s. That classifies as action. That's an actual action scene. You've misinterpreted it.
You will eat this contract, but I hope you leave enough room for my fist.
And if you don't quite understand what I mean, I'm going to explain further what I'm going to do. That is a funny
ram it into your stomach and then break it through your stomach and break your spine.
It's going to be awkward because your wrist is going to be at a funny angle once you're in his mouth and trying to grab his spine. It's an awkward one.
It kind of feels like old Agent Joe from Ant-Man would be like, well, what do you mean? Surely you would just pull my spine out from behind me. But, why would you go through my stomach?
Why would you do that? Yeah, what have you made me
have a
the
conversation?
Oh dear. Yeah, that was a funny line. That was a bit of a strange one. I would say, like,
on the rewatch though, you're happy with it.
I was happy.
You enjoyed
with it.
watching it again.
I did enjoy it, and it's funny enough. So I know we'll get onto the other one as well. So obviously we're both Edgar Wright fans, and I think of your list, it was Edgar Wright had 2 of the top 3 for me. So I'm a big Edgar Wright fan, and I think that I think Ben Powell's a good actor as well. But I just don't think they get it correct in the remake. And I think this actually helped. This helped as with Total Recall as it does now with The Running Man. Now that I've watched the remake as well, it makes the original seem better. So, and I think they just don't get one of the things in the remake, I think the villain, that it doesn't come across in the right way. I think one of the good things about this film is Cillian is brilliant in this. He is so sadistic, and at no point do you ever have any kind of inkling where you care for him at all, or he from go one when he's like the janitor and he's like
kill the janitor.
It's just like unbelievable. Like, I think that guy does it so well, and he's clever because obviously his persona on TV is he's the nicest person in the world in the audience, giving away the Running Man board game to everyone. But behind the scenes, every scene he has, he's absolutely sadistic, and I think it's brilliant. Like that, he gets the villain down pat perfectly. He's really good. And I think, it's such a clever idea, right? You go into a system, it's kind of like the rat in the maze, isn't it? You're in there and you go through different stages, and then...
Don't bring in Tango and Cash so early.
Just ease in some of these scenes in slowly. And I just think it was fun. Like, you get the first one coming. I do know what you mean. Like, rewatching it now, they're not really scenes. It's very short. I mean, probably like 2 minutes, the Sub-Zero one. I was thinking, I'm sure I remember this being longer. There's a little bit more gameplay. But Sub-Zero's come and gone very quickly. But I think like the idea of it was good. I think the premise it's a clever idea. Obviously, as you said, it's based on the Stephen King short story. I did think it was funny. It was set in 2017, which I'm glad they went a little bit further ahead, which we always say films don't. And I was thinking, nearly got there. 2021 might have been a better choice. It would have been closer.
It's
But-
in some ways the world was going to have changed a lot in 30 years.
Yeah, it's
in
true.
other more calisthenics, aerobics based ways, it was going
It's
to be exactly the same.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, that's true. Exactly. Some things have not changed. I've just dusted off my leotard from the 80s, and it still can be used now.
I mean, it's almost like if only the fashion from the 80s still survived in 2017.
Yeah.
But governments have become totalitarian, and you're allowed to just kill people on TV. But you know, if we have to have one for the other, you know, then maybe it's a sacrifice you're willing to make to keep the 80s fashion going.
We do need. Yeah, I did think I do want to get onto I want to ask you some questions, but one thing what I remember was I don't remember there being as many sort of like, I guess, boomers or like old people in the audience, and they are sadistic. They have got a thirst for blood. I'm like, this is the purge that old people want. This is the kind of purge that they want. They can sit back and watch it and not have to be chased and worry and run around. But the audience.
The thing is even great when she's like, "Oh, the next kill will be Arnie," and he says, "No, you can't do that." And she's like, "I could do whatever you want."
Yeah,
and you're like, "Oh, yeah, it is that boomer mentality of like, oh, yeah, you're talking about killing people. Well, I can choose whoever I wanted to kill the next person.
Exactly. Kill that person and give me the board game." Yeah.
Although the bookies have it 100 to 1 that he's going to make the next kill.
Yeah,
which, you know, they're going to lose a lot of money.
Yeah.
So I don't think
he just killed
should have
2
had
people.
It quite so much.
That's ridiculous.
He's already killed 2 people.
Unbelievable.
But no, I would say, I mean, all of the extras, God love them. The crowd scenes, everyone's going for it.
They pump. Yeah.
I think maybe I didn't know. For me, I didn't know whether that meant that they'd sort of been promised that they would be in the next Arnie movie if they really did well, or just that there was lots of cocaine lying around the film set because it was the 80s.
Yes.
So maybe actually they all go, "We're going to pay you in cocaine." Okay, yeah, well, that helps me act like a deranged lunatic as well. And then the crowd scene's brilliant. 2 for 1.
Yeah.
Bring it on.
Everything just worked. Yeah. So, okay, so you hadn't seen it until the first time a couple of years ago, so it would have been an interesting watch a couple of years ago. And then obviously you've rewatched it now. So what were your expectations when you first went into it? Obviously you knew it was an 80s film, so there's going to be certain expectations. It's going to be a certain quality. But yeah, what were your sort of expectations going in? And then I guess having watched it twice now, where do you sort of sit? Obviously, action questionable, but what about the rest of the film?
I think because I think sort of in comparison to some of his other films, when I watched the first time, it felt very light. It felt very as in like there just didn't seem a lot there.
Yeah.
You know, almost in sort of comparison to like a Commando or I mean, obviously the Terminator's probably like just a completely different class. Yeah. But even with Total Recall, it just kind of felt like you know, almost sort of 4 deaths and like strung along with a plot that then like the whole resistance movement plot is just sort of
you didn't like that
put in. I don't think that's I think that's good. I think that's good to have the plot, but it was almost like that plot line was fighting with whoever was just trying to make it an action movie.
the running man.
And so they're just kind of like, okay, remember these numbers. And you're like, no, what are you doing? This isn't a remember these numbers type of film. This is a people getting shot or maimed by chainsaws that clearly aren't actually on. That's what this film is. So it just kind of felt a bit like, okay, like you stay in your lane. I don't think that like introducing something more, you know, as we said with Total Recall, I think there is there's more there. Was it with this I just didn't get that. So it's a fun movie.
I think you're right,
but like
it doesn't.
I saw that he went for his go-to disguise as a construction worker.
Yes,
when he breaks into his flat. I was glad to, and that, you know, for me, any Arnie movie where he needs to be in disguise or undercover or be inconspicuous,
genius.
You're just like this is just absurd. You should have got someone else. Like, I don't care about the ones where he's pregnant. I believe that, but if you're going to tell me that he's
twins.
not noticeable walking around,
yeah, it is fun, isn't it? That start of it, I was thinking, this does feel a lot like Total Recall. Like the start of it is very similar. And then he goes to an airport and he's trying to escape through an airport and he gets caught in the airport. There was definitely similarities there. But yeah, I mean, what did you think of like because this, as I said at the start, I think this is like sort of real Arnie one-liner central. Did you feel like there were too many, there weren't enough? Did they hit? Obviously, some of the lines as you discussed, like the longer lines are a bit, the non-one-liners maybe is not where Arnie's forte is. So, the two-liner.
Yeah, again, I just, they're almost, I mean, he only like kills 4 people. Yeah, I mean, obviously, I'm just saying only.
All right, boomer.
But that's the thing. I kind of feel, I didn't think that this was like, if I was thinking of an Arnie movie with one-liners, I'm not sure that this would be at the top of my tree. Yeah. Was that when you rewatched it? Was that sort of still? What were some of the one-liners that really sort of took you back?
I think it just the fact that obviously they've set up, and I think they do a very good job here in, they call them the stalkers, whereas in the new one they call them the hunters, which is a bit like, it's just a bit soft. And then also what I love in this one is they give them all their own like theme and like a little bit of a personality, right? There's not much, you don't go into depth, but Dynamo, he's a name and he's linked to electricity, obviously Dynamo and Fireball, etc. Whereas in the new one, they're just hunters.
And he's an opera singer. Don't forget about that.
Apologies, you are right.
He's
yes,
an opera singer for some reason.
He actually just does the Running Man part-time to make a bit of money because he is an opera singer. He doesn't make enough money from that.
It's tough out there for aspiring opera singers. You've got to break into you've got to get in the union.
So many jobs.
There's only so many shows.
So, and then in the new one, they're just sort of, just nobodies apart from one person who's like this masked guy, and none of them have names or like. I just didn't think that worked because then you just don't. I mean, you barely can watch them, and then you just don't care who they are. Whereas at least in this one, they do.
Well, it's like the gladiators, like WWF, like like almost the baddies have a plot line, and like that's as much about it as anything else. I think it's very it's very sort of WWF.
Yeah. I think you need that, right? You need that, and then obviously has like the little what was the Sub-Zero's one? Is now, which was a classic Arnie one-liner, which makes again not really much sense. He's no longer Sub-Zero.
Now he's Plain Zero.
Yeah, it's brilliant.
It's like, no, total zero. It reminds me of the Simpsons when the Arnie character, they're like, so you've got to say up and at 'em, and he's like, up and at them. No, it's a play on words because it's nuclear, so you've got to say up and at 'em, up and at them. And he just can't say it, and they were like, right, total zero, Plain Zero. No, Arnie, that's not a thing. Total zero.
It's great
Plain
though.
Zero.
Why not?
We're just going for Plain Zero.
I think that's the thing. Like they're so, and that's what this film is. It's just a silly sort of fun film. I mean, like you said, there's not like a huge amount of action scenes. I mean, they do open. I mean, I love the fact that it opens early and he just, does the scrolling text as we've seen in many good 80s films to get you up
just
to
can't
speed
be bothered
immediately. Yeah,
can't be bothered to have any sort of. I mean, at least in that man, they talked you through it. This, they were just like, just read this so that you're ahead of us.
Yeah. If it works for Star Wars, come on. I mean, it could work for anything.
I mean, that's where it's coming from, isn't it?
It would be, right?
Like, let's just set up the world.
Save ourselves 20 minutes of movie and just get straight into
it.
Yeah.
That, and maybe that's why films are like 2 hours now rather than an hour 40.
Yeah,
it's because people no longer use just the scrolling text at the start. Maybe we should be phoning up Marvel and be like, just Bring back
Oh.
to be honest with you, you only need 4 movies in the MCU.
Yes.
Just have scrolling text. Thanos has now got all of the gems.
Yeah. Oh, done.
No,
Yeah.
Let's just get going.
Move it. Yeah. On we go. God, yeah. I know after slight detour, but after we did Ant-Man the other day, and obviously I watched most of the first one as well, and then I watched, as we were chatting about it, Guardians of the Galaxy and Thor Ragnarok. Then looked at the chronological order of all the films, and it started nicely. That they had 1 or 2 films, and it was easing you in, and it was good. Then they got to a point where they started doing 3 and then 4, and that's what they're still okay, but it just starts to go. And I think there was one year when there was like 5 or 6. And I'm just like, what on earth? And honestly, it made me slightly, almost physically sick looking at that and thinking about watching those films. I was like, no. I think maybe that's why I have so few on my list, is I still have an allergic reaction. It's like, no, you did too much damage to me. I've got like PTSD on the MCU.
Yeah,
but
I don't want films to be homework, and that's what it felt like.
Yeah,
so.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it's true, isn't it? But back into the
so I've got a question for you.
Yeah.
So what would your baddie name be, and what would your signature death be?
Oh, that's a good question. I mean, because it really needs to still fit in the theme. Are we saying it has to fit in the theme of the others? So it has to be in that sort of extreme 80s view where you go, what would my name be? I don't know, Fireball? Yeah, okay. And then what? Oh, just get a flamethrower, sign and burn people. Oh, okay.
I mean, fair play to him, because he's got a propane pack on his back, and he still walks through the fire. He's just like, nah, he'll be fine.
This is all right. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, that's a good question. I don't know. I mean, I guess if I bring in the Australian vibe, maybe I'd have to be like Boomerang Man or something, and have like
nice.
I'd have like, I guess, like razors or like spikes on the edges of the boomerangs. One that explodes. One that, like, I don't know, has like a wire on it. I don't know. Some fun boomerangs.
Captain Boomerang.
Captain Boomerang might be better. Yeah. Or let's just go President Boomerang.
DC Comics.
You know, why not?
Give yourself a promotion. Infield.
What about you?
Infield promotion. So I think, considering the setting and everything, I think I'd be Mr. Gun, and I'd use a gun.
That is unfair. You are cheating the game.
It may not be I might not be selected all the time, but if I'm going up against 3 criminals, maybe I would just take a gun, because they seem it's a very convoluted way to kill people. I mean, Sub-Zero, you have to first of all get them onto an ice rink, and then he's just barging into them, and with his sharp hockey stick, you're just like, well, at least we now know where the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles got some of their ideas from. So
yeah, it's funny, isn't it? Because I kind of like, when he comes out immediately, I was thinking, oh my god, they're going to die immediately, because they're just running. But I forgot. It's like, oh no, he tortured them a bit for a little bit of entertainment. But if you think about the other shows, then they're like, Killian's like, oh, we need someone decent. This has been terrible. Even though they've got it's still the #1 show, and there's a live audience. Everyone tunes in. People, on the streets are betting on it. This went on for.
I mean, even the guards in the jail. I don't know whether they just subtly get that reference in there. Hey, did you see Running Man? You're like, oh, okay.
Everyone knows about it, and it's funny, isn't it? Because I think in the new one is it 20? No, it's 30 days, isn't it? Yeah, blimey, it's a ridiculous amount of time. Whereas this one is 3 hours, so it's a very different time zone.
I mean, it's a bit long for a TV show, in my opinion.
Yeah, 30 days.
They've got to look at the format. Or just 3 hours.
Or just 3 hours.
Stranger Things.
But then, so obviously these guys do pretty well, and they get to the final scene. Like, no one else obviously even gets past the first scene. So how long is the show normally? Like, it must be about 10 minutes. How is that still the #1 show?
That's why...
Which is basically just execution. It's not even a show.
By someone in a ice hockey uniform. Yeah, I mean, that's obviously that's why they have to give out all of the swag, all of the board games and stuff. They need to keep
them coming in.
I mean, how many people are they going through per show? Maybe it's just...
It must be a lot,
Maybe it's just a lot of people. And it's like three criminals every 15 minutes, maybe.
That's not a nice thought. Yeah, that would definitely increase the level of action. Yeah, wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is bizarre. I guess they could do that, but I did think that would be strange because he's like, "Yeah, we need someone good," and it's like, I was like, "It's only 3 hours. What has happened to everyone else? This is the first time a stalker has been killed." So you're like, so every other time, everyone's just been obliterated. So
they're getting through like hundreds of people in that 3 hours. It's just getting a bit boring.
Yeah, I did think it was funny. They set up the scenes quite nicely when they, I don't remember it as being as dictatorial as it is, but the fact that like the TV sort of take control. I think this is dealt with very well in this version of the film. I don't think it's dealt with very well in the remake. But when they talk about, I'm just going to phone the Justice Department, put me through to the entertainment division, which I thought was, and then you get your court-appointed theatrical agent, and you're just like, oh wow, that was clever.
Who he stabs in the back, which just feels brilliant. Bit mean. He's just a lawyer. It's just doing his job.
He's, well, and do lawyers deserve to be stabbed in the back at all times? But no, joking.
Well, I mean, obviously he's just part of the system, as is the lady. But obviously, that's fine.
Yes,
she's able to not be part of the system anymore, and all is forgiven because then Arnie can just kiss her at the end. And that's basically seems the only reason why she's in the entire story.
Yeah. Well, no, she has to remember the numbers because Arnie wouldn't be able to remember the numbers. So she's actually crucial to the whole thing.
And luckily she has the videotape of the original videotape, even though she's been in like spandex and running around. So I'm not sure. Yeah, maybe it's best not to
don't ask questions.
Where that was. So, I mean, the very Maria Alonso has gone on to have a final career.
Yeah,
and lots of stuff.
Well, started off with The Running Man. Who knew?
Yeah,
but
launched loads of careers.
Yes. Well, it sounds like you kind of liked it. You thought it was entertaining. I think maybe.
It's. I mean, you walk into it knowing what it's going to be.
Yeah.
So it's not. It's going to have to be very good to be a good movie.
Yeah.
But it's going to have to be very bad to be a bad movie. So no spoilers, but obviously it fits quite nicely into the good bad movie section. So
I think it's
so. But going on to the top trumps, I think some of these might be controversial. With that being said,
I don't think you ever need to say that anymore. We understand that you don't understand how the scoring works. Me and all the listeners understand you can't work it out, so it's absolutely fine.
My baddie name would be Mr. Controversial, and I would kill people with boring movie facts and ratings.
Go on then. First watch.
So top charges. So first watch, I'm going to give it 21.
Ouch! Wow.
Because this we're doing it by the rules. When this came out, at the cinema, the weekend that this came out, there was Predator, Lethal Weapon, RoboCop, Untouchables, Full Metal Jacket, and even The Princess Bride. If you were that way inclined.
Yeah, but then
with all of those, you're not going to go and watch The Running Man. So this wasn't even the best
watch impact, isn't it? Not first watch desire. I mean, obviously,
first watch impact with all of those, you're going to just be thinking, "Oh, I wish I'd gone to watch Lethal Weapon."
We'll get to the top 10, and you'll get to grips with this scoring system eventually.
I'm happy with that.
I can tell you now, no one else in the world is going to be happy with that. Even all the people in all of those films will be like, "Well, that's just bonkers. Clearly, it's a good first watch."
It's even the first time I watched it, even if I was watching it in 1987,
I think you've lost the plot.
Having gone to,
have you been smoking some of these? You've been smoking too many of the cigars. This is the problem. Jeez Louise.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
All right. Go on then. What's next? Rewatch.
So for the rewatch, so I left it at 20. I don't.
Something wrong with you.
It's not. I'd still rather watch it than drive. Basically, that was the decider.
You need to stop looking at your old scoring, because we've established on this pod so many times that your old scoring was bad. You need to start fresh.
That's
and move on from there.
Maybe every 15, I'm going to start fresh. No, that's how I'm doing it. I want logic to my lists.
Well, but the irony, there is
the crazy anarchy.
There is no
bring
logic
to yours.
You've come off a starting of a bad baseline, and then subsequently there's no logic involved because they're all going to be wrong.
The baseline was difficult to set. Yeah. Are you going to crack this open in like 3 or 4 years time and watch it again?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, it's definitely a rewatchable film. Like, it is just an easy watch. Like you said, you know what you're going in with. I hadn't seen it for a while, and it was fun going back in and watching it again, and just each of the city scenes. And it's an hour and 40 or whatever, so it's tight. It's not, long.
Yeah.
You can just watch it and go, yeah, I'll just watch something nice and silly. I watched The Wrecking Crew, like I said to you, that must have been 2 hours, and that was terrible. So, and it's a shame because it's got good actors in it. It just, story in the script, just shows you can have good actors and the action's really bad, actually. Like, it's very obviously CGI'd, which isn't good.
Backwards. Yeah. Well, I mean, we'll get on to the action, but obviously they saved up their explosion budget for Killian at the end.
I know, and worth
Which
it.
Again, I didn't see it get packed with C4 as they sent him down.
Yeah,
but maybe he had.
There was just C4 everywhere in the 80s. You just had to be careful.
Everything was more explosive. We'll talk about it in the action bit. Romance. So I've gone for 15.
Yeah, okay.
One man's love for television.
Yes,
I think
which is
that's
possibly very high, actually. Yeah, concerningly high.
That's the only bit. Not decidedly not a romantic film.
No.
So action. So I've gone 61.
Okay, I think that's fair.
Because again, there's not actually that much action in it. There's a couple of explosions, a couple of deaths.
Yeah. We should maybe.
There's a lot of crowd scenes.
Yeah.
Which again, I think the crowd scenes they will do well, and there's a lot of dancing. Like I don't understand. There's a couple of like dancing pieces just in the middle of it. I'm like, why have you put this in? Like, what's the director thinking about?
They have to constantly keep the boomers entertained, otherwise they fall asleep, and then you're like, we've lost them. Someone wake them up. We get the smelling salts. Yeah,
it's the ultimate boomers action movie.
Yes. So we were discussing this. So action. No, I think that's a good score. But yeah, because obviously this has come up a few times, and it's harder. Like, romance is very subjective, I think. But yeah, like, obviously this isn't a romantic film. But action, is it? Because we've talked about this a couple of times. I guess there's two sort of ways of looking at it. Is like, I guess the amount of actual, what you would call action scenes within the actual movie, and then maybe the veracity of the action as well, aka Total Recall, horrific grossness happening all the time. So I guess there's that sort of balance, isn't it? It's almost like a waiting between the two, because like, if you think like, well, it's still in my mind, Drive. He still kills someone with a hammer, but I've seen it recently. He doesn't, but I still think he does.
It doesn't actually happen, but we'll use that during the scoring.
Yeah, but I feel like that would be like higher, because obviously, very high sort of veracity.
The intensity of the intensity of the action, as well as the amount, as well as the density. We need to get some sort of blackboard out. We need to work out a formula.
I've already done it. Don't worry, I'll send it to you. Yeah. Ignore the action figure emojis. That's just for me. Yeah.
It's just what you've got. Yeah. But a couple of explosions. The deaths.
Yeah, I think that's
just
fair.
a bit Yeah,
61's good.
Just a bit bizarre.
Yeah.
But 61.
I mean, let's not talk about but you've got a first watch and rewatch at 20. So like action of 61 is fine. That's not the one to be worrying about on this card.
Yeah, you're happy with that one. Soundtrack. So soundtrack I gave 30, literally just for
generous,
the
I'd
most 80s song in the world at the end. And
Yeah.
it was just for that song. It was almost the perfect, like, this is such an 80s song. I don't remember it. I'd never heard it before, even though I've watched the film before. I was just like, if you want to know anything about the 80s and soundtracks, just listen to the song at the end of this film.
I think I said to you, didn't I, when I was watching it? Like it opens up with like it's classic 80s synth like comes in and you were like, I imagine it will have an absolute banging 80s song at the end. And then I watched it, I was like, yep, it did. It did.
Yep. Check and check.
And nothing in between. Yeah, nice. So lines then. Best lines.
So I only had
not
a few
80s cocaine lines.
Yeah. So I thought it was funny when his mate said, I don't want to be the only arsehole in heaven. And that was
Classic.
like a motivational speech.
Yeah.
And I was a bit like, but wait, what? When
Were you worried about your own mortality there? Well, what? I'll be the only one there. Like, and then there's no others.
So I'm dying. You need to die. And like, but you're an asshole. But like, I'm going to heaven. But if you don't help the resistance, you're not going to heaven. So therefore, I'll be on my own. So it's like a double insult.
You
the logic of
way too
being
much
in
into
heaven. That. No, this is the important stuff.
You've definitely read
just as he was dying. I was like,
I think he's just
so that means
like subtly between the lines, just calling him an a-hole. I think that's what he's saying.
Yeah.
But yes,
but he's saying if you don't help, then you're not going to be in heaven. I'm going to be lonely. So
I don't think he's saying that. I think he's just saying, without telling you, he's like, we're friends now because they weren't possibly friends, and he's like, okay, we are now friends
because we had the fight at the beginning to escape, even though like the fight at the beginning it has no consequence. Like the guards don't rush to the fight. The fight doesn't aid the escape at all.
We've all seen it. Happens in prison all the time. Factual life. People just watch it. I forgot to mention actually, it was a good thing that they had a camera on the outside of the helicopter for the entire helicopter scene at the start.
Yeah,
I was like, that's worked out really well that they've got that and recorded it. Otherwise, we would never know any of this information.
Well, and let's say they don't know how helicopters work in the 80s because Arnie's having a fight with someone. If you take your feet and your hands away from a helicopter
it
joystick,
just stays there, right?
It doesn't stay flying. They clearly thought it was a plane. It's like, he can be in a fight. You're like, as soon as you take your hands off that joystick, you go down. So I did wonder with that as well, actually, like, do you think actors in the 80s had to be better because the special effects were worse?
I think so.
They were just like, right, you're in a helicopter. Everyone go to the left.
Yeah.
Everyone go to the right. Whereas nowadays, they'd have like a mechanical
simulator
helicopter, or they'd just like CGI it would be fine.
Yeah, true. Yeah, I mean, I don't know if they were necessarily better. I think they had to do more. Whether it looked better is probably arguable. But yeah, there was a lot more
use their skills more.
One punches I noticed as well. Like Arnie lands one punch, nearly knocks the guy out. One more punch, nearly knocks the guy out. There was a point as well at the start when they're breaking out the prison where he's got a machine gun and he's bending down. He moves it around with one hand. Bear in mind, this is a machine gun. Pops off one shot and kills someone. And you're like, I just don't know how any of that would be possible. I mean, can you hold a machine gun in one hand and aim and only let one bullet come out?
just be easing the trigger. Well, I mean, that is so funny when they're in there and he's trying to turn the security off. He literally just keeps putting in the same password. He's he just keeps putting it in. He's not doing anything else. He just keeps trying to put in the same password.
Yeah.
And it's like, you've forgotten your password. Do you want to reset your password? You then reset your password. It says your password's not allowed to be your old password.
Yeah.
And I felt like that's almost the most accurate prediction of what 2017 is like, where you're just putting in the password, being like, no, I'm sure it's this password.
Is definitely this one. Yeah, stop gaslighting me. This is the right password.
It just keeps putting in, and then suddenly it works.
Yeah. So yes.
Two other lines. So she says to Dynamo at the end, "There's nothing funny about a dickless moron with a battery up his ass."
Good one.
Which she's not wrong.
No,
that is there is nothing funny about that.
No.
And then you see that he's just in his pants, which I'm not sure what was going on with that.
Yeah. It's not a pleasant scene.
And then probably the most the actual one from the book, where all the others are probably not from the book. When he says, "I'm not into politics, I'm into survival," and they say these days it's the same thing. I thought, that's quite, that's quite deep. So that's quite deep and meaningful. So I think we're going to have to go for "I live to see you eat the contract, but I hope you leave enough room for my fist, because I'm going to ram it into your stomach and break your goddamn spine."
Yeah,
because that's
rolls off the tongue, to be honest. So
much easier. Up against an interesting one this week for the mashup and for the top trumps. So the title of the mashup is Sprint Margin.
Interesting.
In a near future economy, the biggest TV show is a live manhunt where debtors run for their freedom. A whistleblower and a few cynical finance types spot the scam. The show has turned human desperation into tradable, survivable securities. Every chase is a tranche. Every injury a payout, and the game is quietly rigged to protect the profit model. They short the whole thing while trying to leak proof, but the only way to expose it is to enter the arena and hijack the broadcast, right as the system starts to crash.
Interesting. So they actually... This is the problem of bankers. Even in like something as innocent as a TV show, they still get involved, ruin it,
a way,
and make money.
And just because they use the word tranche, and there's only been one other film that I've ever known that to be in. Obviously, this week the film from my list is The Big Short.
Yes, very good film. Yeah, number 87 for you, and it was number 32 for season 1 for me. So good, pretty high up. It was a good film.
Had a couple now.
Yeah, very good film. So for me, some good scores. So So I based first watch off of, I saw someone in the park who was watching an advert for The Big Short, who then was watching a TikTok video, who was watching, and so my score is, I asked them what their favourite number is, and they said 1,000,004. So I then divided that by pi. So I went for 84.
84, nice. Well, you got there in the end.
Got there in the end, yes. And then rewatch 76. Still rewatchable. Hurts rewatching it, but I think still rewatchable.
Still made you angry, even when we watched it on the pod.
It does, doesn't it? And then the fact that nothing changes, I think the reason it still makes you so angry. Level of romance, same. I went with 12, so just a little bit below your 15. I mean, neither films are really romantic films, are they?
Is there any romance in Big Short? I'm trying to think. Is there any...
The bromance between the two that are trying to they get exposed. They expose it. That working with Christian Bale.
Yeah, they're working with Brad Pitt. Those two.
Oh yeah, so Brad Pitt. Yeah. So those two.
I don't think there's any. Is there any couple? Do we see any couple on the screen?
Don't think there's any couples. No.
Apart from the family who has to live in their car, maybe.
Yeah. Christian Bale and the drums. Or the heavy metal music.
Yeah.
So a tinge of romance.
Securities,
I would say. So level of action. So obviously depends on your definition. But I think I would say watching this film, it does get your heart racing, and you are watching it, and it does feel like, especially the first time you watch it, you are on the edge of your seat a little bit. So I gave this action 48 because I think that there is a level of action in it that does keep you suspended or like, there. Soundtrack, I don't really remember anything on the soundtrack here, so I just put 15. I don't think there was really much that I remember. Nice. Not an 80s banger at the end, like the Running Man. And then best line, they weren't being stupid, they just didn't care, which is horrifically sad. But yes, that is the line.
Just makes you makes you angry. Just
back.
Even.
So, should I roll today? I've got access to the dice. Yeah. So here we go.
Yeah, give it a roll.
Rewatch. Oh, so good news for you, Andy. Your film won. Bad news for you. I marked it, so it's my point.
God gives with one hand, takes it away with the other.
Oh dear.
Okay. Nice. What does that mean on the scores?
I think I'm 2 ahead now. I think.
Ooh.
So it's
8-6 up.
Yeah. It's all happening. I mean, who'd have thought it when we started?
Still close.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of films to go. There's a lot of films to go. Your films get better, and my films get better, crucially, really, which will help you.
Well, there's still a few that you really didn't like. I'm just scrolling through the list.
Oh yeah.
Still, there's a few even far down. Some of these just how have you rated it?
Look, don't you worry about it. The comments are about your score, not mine. It's all good.
I'm more upset about Yojimbo than anything else, but that was early on as well.
Yeah.
Cool. Okay, so obviously this was just 2017. So Arnie is just 9 years on from this. Where would you see him?
Well, I mean, I think probably the reality of probably what's similar to what's happening now. I imagine he's just retired in Florida. He had the shirt. He wanted to go somewhere. He could stay in the US. So I think, I can see him retiring in Florida, telling everyone about, or he'd just be like the man of the people, walking around smoking his cigar outside Florida, not worrying about what he's doing. I think that'd be him. Nice. I feel like Amber would be running a podcast, obviously, who isn't these days. And it would be called...
let anyone know. It's very low bar.
Escape from Reality TV. So, yeah.
Nice.
That's it.
Nice.
What about you?
Well, I think Arnie would either be running for president or would be on I'm a Celebrity, Get Me Out of Here. I think it's kind of the two extremes. Reliving glory days. And then, I mean, Amber podcast sounds very doable. Maybe it's quite supportive of right-wing politics, as maybe she is in real life. So... Nice. So obviously, as we've kind of talked about, the thing that I would change is actually having more action in this action movie. What would you? What do you think? More one-liners? Just longer for the one-liners to really compete? Or?
Yeah, you're right. You can always have. There's always room for more one-liners, isn't there? I guess. I don't know. I thought in its shell, it worked pretty well. I don't think there was too much I would change, because if you change certain things, like if you try and develop some of the characters, like the other 3 people that he's running with, then do you have to actually change a lot more of the film itself as well? So does that not work? Like you said about, the subplot of them trying to get the code. Well, if they don't have that, what sort of happens at the end, so it's all these little things that actually, it's kind of, if you start pulling, it's like Jenga, you start pulling at one block, the whole thing's going to fall down. So I'm like, I'm just going to leave it there for now.
It all combines to movie magic. So.
Exactly. It just about works as it is, so I don't want to pull on any threads. So I think I'll just sort of leave it as it is. It is what it is. Like you said, it's a good, bad film. and it's pretty tight. You know, I do think the guy who plays the villain, is very good. Like he really, and this is actually similar to Roadhouse as well. Like the villain there as well is like next level. Like so, maybe 80s has had better villains.
They look very similar. Maybe they were brothers or something.
So yeah, I think that's what I will do. Just leave it as it is.
Just leave it as why mess with perfection. Awesome. Well, yeah, there was quite a few 3-star reviews.
Good to hear.
A mixed bag in where people were coming from. One person wrote, "Terrible low budget movie, not worth your time, and the 4K quality on the disc is also terrible. But the steelbook art is sensational and worth buying for collectors."
Wow! How have they made this into 4K? I don't even know if that would work.
Yeah. And just the still, just literally buy it for the steelbook art. Very very surprising. Someone wrote, "This film is about the Arnold Schwarzenegger's character who enters some sort of competition," and I was like, what do you mean some sort of competition? That's like the very first premise about the film. If you don't know what that is, you're not qualified to write a review on it.
And it's not like
some sort of competition. I presume it's called The Running Man. Come on, man. And
it's not a competition at all. It's like he's not entered it. He's been captured and forced to do
it. He's texted the number. They said it was only going to cost £2 plus network rate, and all of a sudden he's escaping people trying to kill him.
He's like, "Damn! I wanted to go for I'm a Celebrity. I'm stuck in The Running Man." Sent the wrong text.
And then someone else said, "This movie is so depressing. It seems too real in many instances."
I mean, yes. You'd hope that we would never get to this point in life again after the Colosseum, but I mean, I guess you never know.
Exactly. Yeah. You just never know. I mean, the deep fakes. To be fair, they got that one. They got that one right.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, it's true.
Put someone else's face on.
And then the fact that
someone else.
Yeah, this poor stunt guy who's like, "We're going to redo this, and it's going to look like Ben Richards loses." And then they just kill the stunt guy. Like, got to make it look realistic.
Brilliant.
Couldn't you have done that bit as well? Like, why did you have to kill him?
You love a bad guy. This is what we're finding out.
He's very good as the bad guy. He's very sadistic, which is it makes you hate him so much, which is good because you're like, make sure he dies with like a really good one-liner.
Yeah, nice. So I mean, sounds like you were still very very bullish of this. You still had a good time. Where does that mean you're putting it up to, even though you're running out of space in your top 50?
Yes. Now this is where I have similar issues to your scoring. In yes, this doesn't. My re-ranking is a problem. It's definitely it's an issue that we've started off with, and I don't really know where I'm going. But there isn't enough structure. I did when we were doing Ant-Man the other day, and I was like, oh right, I didn't realise that I'd actually put Total Recall. What was it? 91 or no 97? And I was like, oh, that's actually was quite good film. I should have moved that up loads more. So I don't know. Maybe I'll have to do a full rework at some point. So I'm leaving this at 87 for now. It was enjoyable. Right. It was good. I did enjoy it. I didn't, it is, like you said, it is. It's a good, bad film. And we move on to the next. So, yeah. How about you?
Nice. Yeah, I had it at 93, actually. So it was in the good, bad section. Sort of just nestles between Escape from New York and Haunted Honeymoon.
I mean, what a trio that is. What a trio.
But yeah, it's I would say this wasn't a top 5 movie when it came out, because the rest of those films are absolute bangers. Yeah. I will not be watching it again. But it is what it is.
So you probably said that 2 years ago, and you thought, well, I won't watch this again, and here we are. So You know, you might enter into a competition and get to win it and watch it again. So who knows?
If I need to do a quiz on The Running Man, I'll be getting the AI to summarize it for me.
Remember your best accent, Mr. Sean Connery. What he says, you know, never say never.
Never say never again.
Yeah. So next week, complete change of pace for next week.
I mean, we're just used to this now.
Yes.
The twists and turn of
this list.
The first rom-com.
So actually, it's a good point. When does the first rom-com come in? I mean, I don't know. It's a long way, actually.
I mean, you've already had Kingpin. You've had The Mask. You've had Jurassic Park. It's been nothing but rom-coms.
Yeah, I guess. Is it a rom-com though? It's a comedy film.
Yeah.
I don't know. The premise isn't behind romance. The story isn't. There is some romantic elements into it, but the premise isn't romance. It's not like the whole story, like My Best Friend's Wedding, starts off about romance, and you know exactly what's going to happen, and it does exactly what it says on the tin. Anyway, we can debate that as we get to those films.
Have we got that banger coming up?
Look, I don't want to spoil the list too much. You already know how many Arnie films are coming up.
I'm trying to start figure out the rest of the list. Yeah. I'm getting a bit worried after these first 14 films.
If you think you were going to try and work it out, this is going to put you completely left field, so you will not understand it at all. So we go from 1987 to 1999. It is a drama biography. It's a whopping 157 minutes. Strap yourself in. Get yourself ready.
Yeah.
This is going to get you excited, though. Rotten Tomatoes audience score 87. Critics score 96. So very high. I can see, look at you're interested already. You're like, this could be a good film. This could be a film that I like. IMDb 7.8. And this is going to be the clincher for you. You ready? A number of explosions. 0. Number of deaths. 0. Number of animated characters. 0. So, I know. And you thought this is definitely going to be an animated movie then. So let's see if you get it from this. This is a bit cryptic. 2 men, one knows too much, the other can't stop asking. Not all truths fit inside 60 minutes or between the filter and the tip. So, yeah.
Nice.
See if you get it from that.
I think I would... I think I'd be able to have a good guess.
Yeah.
It's just a lone man sitting on a chair for most of the film, as I recall. But that might just be how I remember it. Okay, interesting. That's it's a different type of movie.
Very different
for us to have down at the bar. So, well, we'll leave the listeners on tenterhooks. See if you can play along with us. Thanks to Tom Miller for the theme song, as ever. We're gonna get another drink, light up another cigar, and just to try and write our Mad Libs one-liners with just body parts and ways to kill people. So we'll see you next week.